Hello, my tinfoil, my fellow tinfoils. This is the tinfoil hat news. Uh, this video is not for kids as it is news. So yeah, I've been super ultra busy with a lot of stuff. One, going to the gym, losing weight, but now just getting ready for a surgery. I had 2 gut surgeries to slow down my metabolism, and well, I didn't quite heal properly. That's where my problem is. 2, we should probably talk. This is the fringes of YouTube. So obviously, the best part about being on the fringe and being a small channel is no one's gonna notice what you're doing. It's also a bad thing because there's some really creepy people out there. So let's go off and talk about the topics. Recently, there was a article in the San Francisco Chronicle talking about equity, and then they started bringing up about giving up your children. I'm no genius, but I'm not gonna lie. There's also people in the LGBT community that are seeing right through the bullshit. This whole inclusion crap, what they're trying to do is legalize 2 things: people that sleep with animals and people that are trying to sleep with young children. So they're trying to normalize child predators and people into bestiality. That is a big issue, which has also came up to another big issue that's going on YouTube, where they're calling out YouTube to pick a side. Now, I don't know about these 300,000 YouTubers or whoever these YouTubers are that are calling out YouTube using a petition to get Susan Wojcicki is, but I can say if they pulled their money together and if they're very smart, they can actually bring a lawsuit to parent company Alpha Media, and under current state and federal laws could get them sued for inhibiting or continuing to protect or help child predators when they should have been reporting on them. See, the Child Protection Act, or COPA, was to protect children from such monsters that go out there and do stuff like this. And what they're doing is they're allowing it to continue. So that is one of the biggest issues that is going on YouTube. So just to explain that. Also, too, we have other issues. I switched over to a Windows format, and I'm just learning how to edit with Windows. Free programs that they have from Microsoft. Now, going back to the whole situation with YouTube aside, I have a feeling that if the YouTubers who are trying to force Wojcicki or whatever change to get going through YouTube, if you had a brain, and I'm praying that you do have a brain, get a lawyer, start suing Alpha Media, start putting pressure. It seems like every person, and I don't know what it is, but it's like every person in tech that's coming from India is some sort of communist supporting, pedophile loving, and it's really weird. It's like this high echelon of people, like super rich tech billionaires from India are like, A, they're pro-China, and B, they're pro-protecting creepy pedophiles. And I'm not trying to be an asshole, but it's like, look at Twitter. The guy that took over for Jack Dorsey, that guy, I don't know why he's still alive in India. If Modi has enough power, he should wipe him out. I mean, or arrest him or something. That guy is doing treasonous actions against the country of India. And this guy is pro-China. He promotes dictators like the Ayatollah of Iran. And yet they want to censor Donald Trump, who has done nothing as egregious as the Chinese Communist government or the government of Iran. Now, going back, I don't know what it is, but we got to keep our Silicon Valley away from like this group of people from India that I don't know what it is. It's like a group of people from India, a high elite, not saying all people from India, but a real high elite tech group from India is into some dark crap, and we need to call them out on it. Like, not even waste any time. They should be banned from American Silicon. Like, I don't know what it is. I mean, there are good people in India who have done great things. But these people who are taking over the tech industry are make the scammers look good, but they're just straight up. Who are these creeps that are taking over the tech field? They shouldn't be in charge of our computers, period. They are traitorous to the government of India, and they are definitely not friends of the United States. So, if you can, let's start calling them out. Like, if we need to get in contact with people like Modi to kind of put the hammer down on these people. It doesn't make any sense. Why would they be this hostile? And if they really want to start something, fine. But it's not going to end the way they think it will be. They shouldn't be in charge of Twitter. And they shouldn't be in charge of most of the internet. They're allowing people to post child pornography, which is a crime. This is a big, serious issue. Normally, we were supposed to be I was supposed to make stories about funny, crazy stuff, but the way the world's going right now, it's too insane. Especially with this group, the San Francisco Chronicler. I don't know what it is, but they're advocating for telling you to give up your children. I don't want to hear it from the left. Don't tell me that I'm a Nazi, and yet you're demanding people to give up their kids, and you're asking for people's vaccination paperwork. I'm sorry, but maybe you should do your homework. The Nazis were socialists. It's in the name. Anyway, going back to what I was saying. So that's big news. Other big news, Tonga. An island of Tonga is going through some major issues. We're barely hearing what's going on out there. They lost communication because the underground cable's been destroyed by the big explosion from the volcano, which had the weight of some hydrogen bombs. It was pretty powerful. I mean, it's not nuclear, but it had that much power. And the damage that it inflicted was so humongous. So keep them in your thoughts and minds and prayers. The other thing that's come up that they're not talking about, and if anyone has ever gotten a chance, you can go on to the .gov websites to explain the bills that are trying to be passed in the House and in the Senate, because you don't necessarily need to wait on Fox or MSC, NBC to read up on what's being put in bills. You could pull them up. What happened with this voting rights bill is it's not really about voting rights. It's about allowing non-citizens and it basically would de-secure our elections. I always hate when the left says, hey, people of color can't get an ID. I'm like, look, people of color can get an ID. People of color are not stupid. Why are you treating them like they're stupid? If you can't get an ID in the United States, you did something you shouldn't have. You're not supposed to be here. All right. There's many reasons if you can't get an ID. Even criminals have to get an ID. Now, this situation with this voting ID thing is supposed to keep our elections secure. What they're doing is they're allowing non-residents to vote in elections, which totally dilutes your voting power. Meaning, if I'm in LA, but people from Texas can vote in my election, that means I won't have my actual representation. I will lose my voice because of an outsider. See, we have a right to sovereignty, and right now to do this would violate our sovereignty. In most cases, should be declared an act of war. Now, this idea that they're going to try to push this also violates the 10th Amendment. The 10th Amendment is very straightforward. If they go ahead and violate the 10th Amendment, it means all gun laws in California, this is going to go back. All gun laws in California in strict places are no longer legal, and people can actually say no to the gun laws and carry their own firearms. So the question is, what are they trying to pull? The other thing you should do is you should probably not take my word for the information on the rules and regs, but you should read it up yourself. As for that, that's all I have to say for the Tinfoil Hat News. I look forward to actually producing more high quality videos. I'm just right now trying to take care of stuff. Haven't been feeling too well. I don't know. Something's kicked my butt. Don't think it's COVID. Don't know if it's flu, but it's whatever. I've been taking good care of my health and I've been sweating this thing out and just taking care of it like normal. Hope you have a good day.